Yeah, it's April, and it's time for Veda. Veda, Veda, Veda.
Hey, what's up everybody? It is your girl Glenda, and we are back with another episode of Whatcha Cookin Glenda. And so what we have on today's menu is an instant pot. Everybody want to say Instapot, but it's instant pot roast. Now this is a chuck roast. It's 2 pounds. It's a chuck roast. It's boneless, and it is exactly 3 pounds. And so I'm gonna pull this to the side so you can see here. I've got some seasoning in a bowl. The seasonings that I have in this bowl that are gonna be combined, all mixed together in just a second, are pepper, number one. I got the quad is what I have. So the quad, plus I have some paprika, and then I also have some thyme. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you don't know what the quad is because you're new, the quad is seasonal black pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Granulated onion, granulated garlic powder. And that's just what I use. If you use the fine powder, then go ahead and use the fine powder. So that's what's mixed up in this bowl right here that I'm just going to mix together. Make sure that it is well combined, and that's what you're going to be seasoning the roast with very liberally. We're going to season the roast very liberally. So we're going to put this to the side, and I'm going to I have half of a purple onion here that I'm gonna cut up, probably a little bit more, but I'm gonna cut this up. And I have like carrot, I can't even talk, about this big that was left over from another meal that I'll probably just chop down, as well as some celery. So I'll be right back and show you how that is gonna go. Alright y'all, so we are back. You have seen me thus far cut up the vegetables, you've seen the roast, and so over here in this Instant Pot I have a little bit of olive oil because we're going to do this entire thing in the Instant Pot, okay? The whole thing is going to be in the Instant Pot. So that's searing of it, the whole 9 yards, we're going to do it in the Instant Pot. So we're going to sear our vegetables. I have this on a saute setting right here, a saute setting. And I just have it on high just to kind of, I'm going to try to heat up the oil some. And I started it again just to try to heat up the oil so we can begin sauteing the vegetables. And so in the process of this, while waiting for this to heat up, I'm gonna show you, we're gonna go ahead and season our roast. So when seasoning the roast, you want to make sure you season all sides liberally. Make sure you do a good job, just making sure it all gets seasoned. This one has quite a bit of marbling on it, so that helps with the tenderization. See all in there? Like, I want to make sure I get all the cracks and crevices. Get deep down up in there. Make sure you get the sides. And I can hear the oil kind of heating up It's doing like a little sizzle, so that's good. And y'all, this is, I think this is this my first time doing an Instapot roast? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. So, pat those seasonings down in there really good. Make sure you get all of the cracks and crevices as I mentioned earlier. And I just have like this much left over, which I will save for towards the end when like you're creating your gravy and such, and you need to like add a little bit more seasoning to it. All right, we're gonna, now right here in this little foil pan, I have just a little bit of flour because we're gonna just lightly dust this with flour. Let me use this tongs. We're gonna lightly dust it with flour and just kind of let it set until we get our vegetables sauteed. So we're just gonna, I'm out of gloves. So that's why I'm not using my gloves. All right, we're gonna let this set. And let's go ahead and throw these in here. Our battery is about to die, so we're gonna change the battery out. But let's go ahead and put our bell peppers and celery right in there like so, like that. And our carrots and onions. Right over in there. So we're just gonna saute those. And I'm gonna take a little bit of my Goya Total seasoning and season this with a little black pepper, and we'll be right back. So there's my sauteed vegetables. And so, y'all see I just got a little bit left. That's fine. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil to this. A little bit more olive oil. Put this back on a saute. Just a little bit of oil. And we're gonna drop in our roast and let that brown up some. Hopefully I won't need to like cut it. As you see, I'm kind of shaking this because I don't want like a lot. So, all right, get in the pot. I'm in it already. I'm just put it down in there. It may be a little better had I cut it, but it is what it is. So we're just going to let that saute on high for just a few minutes, because what you're looking for is the sear, a nice brown sear on that. And then we'll flip it over, do the other side, and then we'll take it out again, and we're gonna let it rest for just a moment. Okay, so when it's time to flip this over to show you the nice brown crust that we get on the other side, we will be right back. So that's the sear you want on there. It's nice and crusty. So let's sear this other side. Get situated in here. When we come back, we're gonna return all the vegetables back to the pan with some more good stuff, okay? Be right back. Take that out, let that rest, and I'm gonna return those vegetables that we were sauteed earlier back to the Instapot. And that onion right there. And I'm gonna add some garlic to it. That was about a tablespoon of garlic. See all that goodness down in there? Don't worry about it. It's gonna come up when you start adding. That ain't nothing but flavor. So I got 1 can of diced tomatoes, which is a 14.5-ounce can. You can use crushed tomatoes as well, but I'm just going in with these diced tomatoes right here just to kind of help it from sticking and all of that jazz when it all boils down to it. I'm just gonna give that a good mix. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to add is a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, a few shakes, eyeball it, and then you're gonna add some beef broth. Now I've got 2 cups of beef broth, but y'all know I don't really buy like beef and chicken broth. I used the Knorr's beef bouillon. I used about a tablespoon of this in 2 cups of warm water, and that's how I got my beef broth right here, 2 cups. So let's take a look and see what we're looking like. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of the beef broth, 1/2 cup, and now we're gonna go back in with our roast. Sit it on down in there, and I'm gonna add the rest of this beef broth. You don't need to worry about covering the meat with the broth being like, as far as it being like submerged. You don't have to worry about that, because once it starts to cook down, it's gonna submerge itself anyway. So vegetables on top a little bit. pressure cook for an hour and 10 minutes, and then we're gonna just hit start. So we're gonna leave our pressure valve here up, okay? Now this one, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know about this, but we're gonna see. So anyway, it's in there, it's on high, it's on pressure cook for an hour and 10 minutes, and we should be good to go. So when we come back, we should have ourselves some good old pot roast, all right? Be back in a minute. There is the pot roast. Let's check the tenderness of it. Look at that fork going in there. Ooh. Now this is not as tender as I'm wanting it. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna taste that little piece right there. Y'all take the first bite. Oh, I'm gonna taste it so I can see. Now that was off the edge. I'm feeling like, oh yeah, look at that. And that was in a fatty portion. No, it's not as tender as I'd like it to be, but so I think I might put this on another like 10 minutes. Now, I will say the flavor is there, but I think I'm gonna put this on another 10 minutes on pressure cook. And see, can we get this a little more tender? It fogged up the mirror, the little thing. Ooh, look at yonder. Look at that. Look at it. Make it all in this bowl. But let me just put it on the plate. Carrot. See that coming apart. Big marbling fat that was in there. I can't even grab none, jeez. Ooh. That's hot. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit. Let me do some of these little vegetables and put over here. And we didn't do a gravy, we just are using the juice from the roast. And there you have it. There you have it. And y'all, yes, I used a paper plate today. There's our plate. Only thing we missing is the cornbread. And I didn't feel like all of that. So bread it is. Alright, so we will see you next time on Whatcha Cookin Glenda. Bye y'all.